Have you ever stopped, truly stopped, and questioned the very lens through which you see the world? Not just your opinions, your beliefs, but the fundamental structure of your reality? The invisible frame that shapes every thought, every feeling, every choice you make. We live our lives within these frames, constructed by culture, experience, fear, expectation. They define our edges, tell us where the canvas ends. They offer comfort, structure, a sense of knowing. But what if that knowing is a cage? What if the most vital, vibrant parts of existence lie just outside that familiar border? Today we embark on a journey, not across oceans or continents, but inwards. We're going to explore these frames, understand their power, and maybe, just maybe, find the courage to look beyond them. Are you ready to question everything? Part 1. The invisible architecture of reality. Think about it. That feeling of certainty you have about the world, where does it truly come from? From the moment we are born, we absorb. We learn language, rules, stories, the shoulds and shouldn'ts. Society hands us a blueprint. Education lays down the floor plan. Personal experiences paint the walls. We build our reality, brick by painstaking brick. Or rather, we move into a house someone else designed. This frame, it becomes our operating system. It filters information, prioritizing what fits, discarding what doesn't. It creates biases so subtle we mistake them for objective truth. It dictates our reactions. What makes us angry? What brings us joy? What we deem possible or impossible? It whispers limitations. You can't do that. People like us don't achieve those things. This is just how the world is. It's the invisible architecture governing our perceived reality. It's comfortable, yes, familiar, safe even, but comfort can be a gilded cage. Safety can be stagnation. This frame isn't inherently malicious. It's often born of necessity, of simplifying an overwhelmingly complex universe. But when we forget it's a construct, when we mistake the map for the territory, that's when we become trapped. We patrol the borders of our own small canvas, convinced it's the entire gallery. But the gallery is infinite. What are the walls of your frame made of? Fear, past hurts, the expectations of others, the relentless noise of the digital age telling you who to be? Take a moment. Feel the edges. Recognize them. Not as absolute boundaries, but as lines drawn in the sand. Lines that can be redrawn. Lines that can be erased. Recognizing the frame is the first step, the crucial step. It's the moment you realize the walls aren't solid rock. They might just be projections on smoke. Part 2. The cracks in the canvas, inviting the unknown. So you've sensed the frame. You feel its edges. Now what? Now comes the act of courage, the willingness to lean into the discomfort of the unknown. Looking beyond the frame isn't a passive observation. It's an active dismantling. It requires shaking the foundations, questioning the unquestionable. How do we do this? Curiosity, the relentless, childlike urge to ask why. Not just once, but again and again. Why do I believe this? Is it truly mine or something I inherited? What happens if I consider the opposite? Courage. The courage to face dissonance, to hold contradictory ideas in your mind without immediate judgment, to admit I don't know, which is often the most powerful starting point for genuine discovery. The courage to feel vulnerable as old certainties dissolve. Exposure. Actively seek out perspectives that challenge your own. Read books you wouldn't normally read. Talk to people with vastly different life experiences. Travel, not just as a tourist, but as an observer willing to learn. Engage with art that disturbs or confounds you. This process isn't always pleasant. Shattering illusions can hurt. Realizing you've been operating on flawed assumptions can be humbling, even painful. It can feel like the ground is shifting beneath your feet. Good. Let it shift. That instability is the sign of growth. It's the cracking of the old canvas, making way for something infinitely larger, more complex, more real. It's the static before the signal breaks through, clear and strong. Part 3. The power of withdrawal and conscious silence. In a world saturated with noise demanding constant engagement, silence feels radical, not the silence of fear or passivity, but the conscious, strategic silence. The silence that isn't empty, but full. Full of observation, full of power, full of you. When you stop the immediate reaction, you create space. Space to observe, to see the patterns you were too busy reacting to notice before. The manipulation loops, the emotional triggers, the self-sabotage cycles. Silence breeds lucidity, and lucidity is a threat to control. Notice how people squirm when faced with your calm non-response. The rapid-fire texts demanding why you're not answering. The accusations of being cold or difficult. The attempts to provoke any reaction just to pull you back into the familiar dynamic. It's not about you, it's about their loss of control. Your silence disrupts their narrative. While you're talking, explaining, defending, you're still playing their game. When you withdraw into conscious silence, you change the rules entirely. You take back the pen. This isn't about being aloof or uncaring. It's about mastering your own energetic output. It's the refusal to be dragged into emotional storms that aren't yours. It's the conscious choice. This battle is not worth my peace. Jung believed this withdrawal, this temporary stepping back from the collective noise, is essential for individuation. The courageous journey of becoming authentically whole. Let's be real, this isn't easy. Choosing silence when you're programmed to respond feels unnatural at first. You'll battle guilt. You'll fear being misunderstood, labeled selfish, arrogant, or cold. People who benefited from your old, readily available self will react. They will push back. Let them. Their reaction is data. It reveals the nature of their connection to you. Was it based on your true self or on the function you served? Their discomfort is the sound of the old frame cracking under the pressure of your emerging authenticity. Sometimes silence is the loudest declaration of self-respect. It's the language of those who no longer need external validation to know their worth. It forces others to confront their own inner noise, their own projections, their own emptiness, something many are desperate to avoid. You don't owe an explanation for guarding your peace. Your presence and your absence becomes intentional. This isn't just about defense, it's about reconstruction. In that quiet space you reclaim, you begin to heal. You reconnect with your own voice, your own needs, your own truth. You gather the scattered fragments of your energy. This is the alchemy, turning the lead of exhaustion and manipulation into the gold of sovereign presence. Part 4, Rebirth Beyond the Frame, the solitude of sovereignty. When you consistently choose conscious unavailability, when you honor your boundaries and your energy, a profound transformation unfolds. First, the external noise diminishes. The demands lessen. Some people drift away, the ones who were only connected to the mask you wore. Then comes a new kind of silence, not empty, but potent. It might feel like solitude initially, and our culture often fears solitude. But this isn't the loneliness of lack, it's the solitude of wholeness, the solitude of the strong, who no longer betray themselves for company. In this space, clarity dawns. Anxiety gives way to a quiet peace. Neediness transforms into self-reliance. You stop being a reactor to the world and become a conscious creator of your inner state, and increasingly, your outer reality. You move beyond the frame. This is the essence of Jung's individuation. Stepping away from the collective script, dissolving the persona, and walking your unique path, guided by your inner compass. You are not rejecting the world. You are returning to yourself so you can engage with the world from a place of authenticity and strength, not depletion and obligation. Those who resent your newfound boundaries reveal they never truly saw you. They saw only the role you played. Letting them go isn't loss, it's liberation. You will lose connections built on illusion, but you will find yourself. You will distance yourself from places, but you will reconnect with your essence. You will become misunderstood. But finally, you will begin to be respected. Because when you are no longer available for just anything, your presence becomes valuable, rare, intentional, unforgettable. This is a rebirth, a commitment to stop accepting emotional crumbs, mind games, or voids disguised as affection. You begin to attract and cultivate relationships based on mutual respect, resonant energy, and genuine connection. Connections that nourish, not drain. If you've journeyed with me this far, a part of you is ready to honor your energy, ready to step beyond the frame, ready to understand that true connection doesn't require self-abandonment. It requires self-possession. So the question isn't just, can you reclaim this power, but will you? Are you willing to endure the temporary discomfort of misunderstanding for the lasting peace of authenticity? Are you ready to choose your own peace, even if it means walking alone for a while, until you find those who can meet you in your wholeness? Think about the frames in your own life. Where are you perpetually available at your own expense? What is the first small step you can take today to reclaim your energy, to honor your presence? Share your thoughts below. Let's build a community that understands the power beyond the frame. This journey isn't always easy, but it's the path to true freedom.